What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Nittany Pod. I am AP. They are TK and Nick. Alex is once again just ditched us for work. Someone's got to make the money here, keep the lights on. It has been quite a long few days. What a whirlwind! Penn State lost to Northwestern on Saturday, and it's really not even the thing that we're going to talk about much on this show here. Drew Aller done for the season. His career at Penn State is over. Another thing we're probably not going to talk too much about on this episode here because James Franklin lost his job. He is looking for a new one. Penn State is looking for a new head coach. Terry Smith is now the interim head coach. And wow, what a few days we have been through. What a few weeks I have been through as a sports fan. It has been absolutely insane. But guys, what the hell? What happened? How did we get here?
How we got here is pretty simple. They lost back-to-back games as 20-point favorites, which is unprecedented. So that's how
That was
they
the
got.
first time ever, right?
I think as far as the stats go back, which is like 1990. So obviously anything before that, I have no idea. I don't think anyone has any idea. But in the modern era, yes, this is the first time that's ever happened. Yeah, this the second biggest buyout in the history of college football, $50 million. Pat Kraft had the balls to go out there and get the deal done, to get the buyout done. I hope, we're going to hopefully get more into the candidates for the position later on. I got a lot of thoughts on that as well. Terry Smith, a Penn State lifer. I think that's going to be something that's going to be interesting to see down the stretch here. What is Terry's role in this search in terms of, how are they going to evaluate him as a candidate? That's the one thing that I think can be difficult about firing a coach midseason. I think we can all agree the firing had to be done, whether it be, this past Sunday or whether it had been,
Absolutely.
On Thanksgiving weekend. It had to be done eventually.
Right.
I think the one difficulty with firing him midseason is that you now get into a situation where, if Terry really does go out there and they go, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. It's pretty unlikely. Shit, that's my notifications. I'm not saying this is likely, but let's say they go 5-1 down the stretch. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they go 3-3 down the stretch. I know. I'm not saying it's going to. I'm just throwing theoretical out there. I think they go 3-3 down the stretch probably. Theoretically, though, let's say they go. This is the difficulty with having an interim like this. You go 5-1 down the stretch. I mean, it's going to be almost impossible not to give Terry a very long look. As in, that would be almost a shoo-in for the job, which I don't know if I love that. I don't know if I love that because now, do I really want a first-time head coach as the head coach of a top 10 program in the country? Not
Right.
really. I love Terry. I say that with all respect. I love
And he's
Terry.
not even a coordinator. I
Exactly.
mean, that's really what it boils down to. Like, I love Terry as well. I think we all love Terry. But yeah, I mean, yeah, you hit it right on the head.
Like, I hope Terry gets a job somewhere. I hope he's a head coach. He deserves it. I don't want him to be I don't want his first gig to be at Penn State. That's a very, very difficult first gig. So that is the one kind of difficulty with firing coach midseason. But I think we can all agree it had to be done. And just one thing, just get it out of the way early. What James did for the program he built this program back from a very difficult time. And I think we'll always respect him for that. And I hope one day,
for
I
sure.
put a tweet out there, like I said, I hope one day he can come back and they can honor the 2016 team and all that. But right now, in the present, what had to be done had to be done.
Yeah, for sure. It just got to the point where it was too toxic, man. The button had to be pushed. He was getting shots from all angles from the students especially, but also all sorts of fans. Not all fans, of course, but he was getting it left and right. His kids were getting it left and right, and that's not cool. And it just got to the point where it was too toxic, man, to keep it going. So it had to be done. Great guy. I like the guy. I hope nothing but the best for him. It's really sad to see how it ended. Like, it really is. I mean, this was the guy's dream job, and he got booed out of the stadium. I mean, whether we could talk about whether it was rightful or wrong, because obviously he did deserve it. Like, things weren't great, but that's going to be his lasting impression of Penn State, and that does suck for him. I mean, that's nobody wants to go out that way. But TK.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, as people can imagine, I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of opinions. I do want to say, because I feel like for the past 3 years we've done this show, I feel like I've probably been the toughest on James on this podcast. in our fan base, you could say locally. But I do want to just kind of utter what Nick said as well. And Brennan just put out, I mean, on 247, just put out an unbelievable article on it. You know, no matter how it ended, um, no matter how the last couple of years shook out as far as big games and opportunities missed, you know, at the end of the day, no matter how you feel about it today or the past couple of years, I mean, James rebuilt Penn State football. I mean,
Yeah.
where he got, I mean, the things that he did and, contracts you agree with or you didn't agree with that he got, some of them had stipulations about facilities. Penn State and what they have now and what the building they walk into now and the locker room they walk into now is
The
all because
stadium.
of James. The
Yeah.
stadium. I mean, that's all because of James. I think I do agree that it's a shame that is the lasting impression is that he got booed. And I obviously saw the video of him, letting his kids go first because he knew it was going to be pretty bad. But, what he did at Penn State was, incredible in a way. He came here at such a shit time. I mean, no one wanted to touch this job. He was a really, really young, in a way, up and coming coach at the time. He obviously coming off from 2 great seasons, right, at Vandy. And he did exactly what, in a way, we needed him to do. And then some. He rebuilt the program. He reestablished Penn State as a football power, which Penn State is a football power. It's a top 12, top 10 job in the country.
Yep.
You're seeing that now with the early news coming out of people they're reaching out to, which is fantastic. I don't think that's the last job James will have. He'll get a new job, but I think James really thrives in a program building situation. I think
Yeah.
that's where he thrives, and I also, and it's been alluded to the past, 2 days now or 1 day specifically since the press conference. I don't know if this era of football, the way James creates the locker room, creates the roster, creates the building, it's unfortunately it's so money right now. It's money, money, money. It's NIL, it's transfer portal. That's not what James thrives in. James thrives in relationships. He's rich in relationships. He loves to go into the house, meet the family, touch the hearts of the family, make them feel comfortable sending their kid there.
Yeah.
That he will look after them for 3 to 4 years. And he did a fantastic job of that. He's a great developer of young men. He honestly cares about them having a future outside of football, should it not work out, which is fantastic. But that's not where we are now. Like that's not what college football is. College football is about money. College football is about the players making money. It's about being aggressive in the transfer portal, willing to spend the money to bring in new kids while retaining your own. You're recruiting your own kids again. You're recruiting kids you've never spoken to that you need to get on campus in a month, offer them, have them learn the playbook, and then be ready to go. That's not where James thrives.
Right.
And I'm super thankful for what he did. I think, I mean, I told AP this before the podcast started. I think, obviously the season is over. Penn State's 3-3. Last week we were still holding on to a long shot, right? Obviously that's over.
Yeah.
Like, Nick said about Terry, I'm excited about Terry. I think he deserves it. He loves Penn State. I think he's a third generation Penn Stater.
Yeah.
I don't personally think it matters what he does. From his press comments, I'm not even sure he really cares about being the next head coach. I think he would want to stay on
Yeah.
staff.
For
He
sure.
loves the
I got
place.
that vibe too.
But the biggest thing to me, and it's sad to say because the season is over in the way of results of where we wanted to go, but him being fired in a way keeps this fan base interested in the rest of the year. And I think that was a part of the firing. He had the biggest expectations in my lifetime. I'm 30 years in my lifetime. Most expectations going into a season ever. Didn't work out. You went 3-3, 2 of the worst losses back to back in the history of college football.
Yeah.
And then you fire him. And now, what are all the Penn State fans doing? we're all asking about who's the next future of Penn State football. New stadium, new head coach. The excitement is around who are we going to get? What coach are we talking to? Who can we talk to? Who can we afford? Who's not coaching now that could come back to coach at Penn State? Because football drives State College.
Yep.
And I think what Kraft knows is that line that used to be said that the university doesn't serve football, football serves the university. I think the university serves football and football serves the community, is what I think. Like that's how I feel about it. So I'm obviously I'm not happy he got fired, James the person, but for Penn State and us as fans, it gives us something to be really excited about for the next couple months as we figure out where the program is headed in a direction. So.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the another big reason why he got fired is the fans have been divided. I mean, you and I, even me and you, TK, have gone at it quite a bit over the years about James Franklin himself and whether or not he should keep his job and stay here and all this stuff. All that's over now. The fans have been at each other's necks for years talking about James Franklin. Now that's done. There are a few arguments here and there, but we're talking about the past now. What's done is done. Let's move forward. There are hot names on the list. Penn State is a hot job. Like you said, it's a top 10, top 12 job. I won't hear any arguments otherwise. People who want to argue otherwise are stupid. Like you can look at every metric you want. People want to talk about, oh, Penn State's not a hot job because they only have 2 national championships. Now, before I even say this, I'm not saying Penn State is going to be Georgia or is Georgia or anything like that. We're not going to become Georgia. But they had 2 national championships when they fired Mark. They were in this exact same spot with Mark Richt in 2015, and they fired him. And they had 2 national championships to their name at the time. And it had been 30 plus years since they won a national championship. And guess what they are now? The golden standard of college football, because they weren't scared. So, Penn State, you guys people have been clowning Penn State for years. We can't get over the hump. James Franklin is a clown. James Franklin is a clown. He can't win the big game, blah, blah, blah. Well, now we eradicated the problem that you guys said that it was. So, and obviously with the purpose of taking that next step. And you're calling us crazy? I don't understand where that comes from. I mean, it's just an insane discourse going out there right now about Penn State as a job in general. But rest assured, I mean, look at what they're doing right now. $700 million into the stadium. We're doing that right now. And then mid-season, we're like, fuck it. Yeah, $50 million, James Franklin, get out of here. We'll go and steal someone else's coach. And I promise we're going to steal someone else's coach. Okay? So that's a lot of money and plus the money that you put into this year's roster. Obviously, it didn't translate, whatever. But that's a lot of money that you're waiving just in January. Okay? This is a top 10 job, whether you like it or not. Okay? And if we make the right hire, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be real interesting because I'm telling you, Penn State is a power. 100%. No question about it.
And the ironic thing about him getting fired is the whole reason he got fired was something that he had built up. When he got here, there was an apathy towards not apathy, but post sanctions, the vibe around the football program, the vibe around that was down low. There wasn't that much investment in the program as there should have been. The facilities were dog shit. Just everything around it was not there. And he always talked about that alignment with the president. Athletic director talks about it at every press conference for 10 years. And that is what ultimately ended up killing him because they started caring more about football and they didn't win the big game. And at the end of the season, at the end of the day, this season was all about the Oregon game. And I think he knew that. I think he was always like 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. But I don't think he was like that this year. I mean, Mike Portman.
From what we're hearing about the summer, hell no.
No. And Mike Portman called him out at his press conference after the UCLA game when he didn't even do the scouting report for Northwestern because he was still so caught up in the Oregon game. I truly believe that. And I truly think he knew that once he lost the Oregon game, he was 2 feet out the door. Like, I think he knew that. I think it all came down to that game. And I think that interception, and it is crazy, right? Because we were sitting here 3 weeks ago And, they were the hottest thing on campus. Pat McAfee's doing a show from James Franklin's office, and James Franklin's on the set of College Game Day with Nick Saban. And Nick Saban's wearing the Nittany Lion outfit, and all the guys are wearing the white suits. Like, they were like the hottest thing in the country less than 3 weeks ago. And now, they're still the hottest thing, but not for the same reason. So,
hottest story.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, I agree with everything AP said about, Penn State is a football power. I think, I can also agree with Nick that the alignment that he begged for and the focus he begged for on football and was the ultimate undoing of him. He set the standard of winning 10 games, beating the teams you're supposed to beat, and then losing to the team or not losing to the teams you're supposed to beat. And then, unfortunately, that was the final leg that he had to stand on, and he lost that leg. I think what really cost James is also similar to what Nick was saying, not so much just the Oregon game, but it was clear that they went all in for that Oregon game. I think James used to be super, super deep in the details, like the little things, the smallest of things. James was always super detail oriented. And I think this year, even early on in the season, you could see that the team was not as diligent as previous years.
Yeah.
Whether that be discipline with penalties or, just simple assignments being missed over and over and over without correction. Little things like, even from his part, we joked about it in the chat, in the Penn State chat, but, what's Holsworth doing on kick return? Like, what is that? Like, what does that even make sense? Like, I think there's probably 120 people in that chat. I think 40 people spammed, who was that? Like, wait, what's he doing back there? You know what I mean? Like, why are you doing that? I don't know. I just, it's a really exciting, and like Nick said, it's like we were the talk of the town, and we're still the talk of the town, but for a different thing. I think it's an exciting time to be a Penn State fan. I think it is. For the past 12 years, we've had the same song, same dance, same press conference, same answers, same questions, questions not being answered, same questions being avoided. Probably the least in visibility into the program. He wanted to have, Audrey Snyder said it best, he wanted to have control of everything, of every little thing, the details. He wanted all of it. But that's not normal. Like, that's not normal for college football. A lot of coaches like to have, obviously, extreme control. But you can't control everything.
Right.
And I think
This is
that
the
was
first true coaching search that this program has ever had in its history, pretty much, which is also a very exciting thing. I think that should be noted.
It is.
Yeah.
And
for having full power and everything. Because TK
obviously
said
there was
earlier,
the Franklin search was a search, but it was such a different time. It's not even.
You had one hand but tied behind your back.
you think about everything, like AP said, with the money, right? Because I feel like there's this big misconception out there
How much money
Penn State's broke, which is stupid. I think it's very obvious that big donors didn't like James Franklin. I think it's very obvious that pretty much any other coach besides James Franklin will probably get an influx of money from boosters and donors. But when you look at the job, $800 million renovation, AD that's committed to football, president that's committed to football, boosters and donors ready to make an impact and probably willing to make an impact for a new head coach, a new face of the program, a new mindset, a new strategy, and the schedule next year is super gettable.
Very easy schedule.
Yeah, very gettable.
Obviously
you have Michigan on the road, of course, but other than that,
it's people are going to look at the names that are being mentioned for this job, and Penn State's reaching out to everybody, which I love. Just make them say no. Make all of them say no. I saw an update come through in one of the chats that someone said Lane Kiffin's interested in the job. He might not be. It might just be for a new contract. But at the end of the day, you're talking about different brands of football. James built this locker room, built this team off of relationships with the families, relationships with the players. It always starts with I love you. It always ends with I love you. But a lot of these other programs of coaches that we're going to interview and talk to, they're about winning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, it's about winning. Like, and we
Yeah.
said that last week.
And that's
And
not to say they don't have good cultures either. I mean,
Mm-mm.
that's the thing. Like, everybody's so scared that, we lost James Franklin. We're going to lose the culture around the program and everything. Like, and I get that because he is a great guy and he did it. Like, the culture at Penn State with Penn State football, everybody wants to make jokes at the history and everything. Like, the culture today in 2025 is, I mean, I don't know about today, this year, but, throughout his tenure has been real tight. Like, they've been in
it's about
lockstep.
it's
And
about winning.
yeah,
Like, it's not about, when you see these coaches, and we talked about this a couple of weeks ago with, some programs do these little short stories, right? And like movies of before the game, during the game, after the game, halftime speeches. Even, people hate it. Like Matt Rule, for instance. Matt Rule's a motivator. Matt Rule's a motivator.
he
I
is.
mean,
Yeah.
when he speaks and you see that clip of him in the locker room up 30 points talking to his team like that, he's a motivator. It's a different mindset. It's a different set of eyes on the program. Like, and that's what I think they needed most. It doesn't matter if it was anybody with Franklin's results. It doesn't matter. You need a separate or a new face of the program, and you need a new viewpoint on what the program needs and how to get it to the next level. Whether that's Urban Meyer or Marcus Freeman, or whether it's Drink, or it's Sig, or it's Kiffin, or it's Lanning. It doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. It's a different brand of football, and
Or
that's what
Mike
Penn State needs.
Tomlin.
Kids are gonna leave. Like, kids are gonna leave. They're already leaving. They're gonna decommit. They can come back. They could hire Marcus Freeman, which would be a long shot hire, or Lane Kiffin, and they'd be like, "Holy shit! I wanted to go to this school, and I love that coach. I'm going there." There'll be
Yeah.
kids in the portal that say, "This is a completely different kind of Penn State than what I remember when they recruited me. I'm going to go to
Yeah.
Penn
This is
State."
a little exciting.
It's
Yeah.
just different.
It's gonna be a big name. Like, we have to, like, that's, people are like, oh, people think it's a shoo-in to be Matt Rule. It's not a shoo-in to be Matt Rule. Anyone who's telling you that is wrong. They made the
Right.
firing decision in week 6, so week 7. Is it week 6 or week 7? I know we played 6 games. So
7.
week 6,
Yeah,
we had a
7.
bye. So week 7. That is, you don't do that if you don't have someone in your mind. If you don't have a big Matt Rule is from State College, went to Penn State. You could get him on August 1st. All right, he would drop at the drop of a hat. He would come here. All right, I'm telling you, it might be Matt Rule. All right, there's gonna be a whole process. There's gonna be a whole national search. Could all roads could lead back to Rule, but I think it's gonna be a way bigger name than that. All right,
Yeah.
they just did a $50 million buyout, all paid for by the university at a time when they are closing
At the
branch
athletic
campuses.
department, not the
Well,
university. The
yeah,
athletic
but
department.
the point is, the university as a whole is going through a bunch of politics right now about closing branch campuses, and then the athletic department is giving out a $50 million buyout. If you don't think it's going to be a big hire, it's going to be a big hire because there's a lot of politics that go into this, and there's a lot of board of trustees and presidents. This is not Pat Kraft. This is a whole university thing.
I think it'll be a 10-year, 11-year, $100
that's a
million
good point,
deal.
Nick.
That's
You said what?
I think, and I know, Alex is in the chat. He said he'd like for it to be like a 4 or 5 year. I think if it's somebody that they really like, I think the way you're going to get them is to do a 10 or 11-year, $100 million deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
You're going to have
can
to
see that.
And
yeah.
and
It's going to be a massive deal.
The thing about Penn State, whether it's a new administration or old administration, Penn State's had like 3 coaches in like 70 years. Like, so when it comes to like, oh, I got to go to Penn State, but like if I don't win, in 2026, like I'm going to be on the hot. I don't think you're on the hot seat, dude. I think Kraft wants to flip this, and he wants someone to take over where we are now and get us to the next one. The next.
To your point, I don't. Yeah, I think you were about to say it too, Nick. Like I don't get the people who say, "Oh, Penn State fans are crazy. They're gonna run out the coach within the first 3 years." Like, where do you get that notion? Like, we just put up with James Franklin for 12 years, and like, I get we've been bitching about him for probably half of it, but I mean, really, since 2016, he was on the hot seat. He saved his job then, but like. We've put up with him for 12 years, and obviously every school is going to talk about firing their coach at some point or not. Like, every school's fan base has those conversations every year, unless you're Ohio. Well, Ohio State just did last year with Ryan Day after the Michigan loss. So, like, I don't understand where this notion comes from that Penn State fans are toxic towards our coach or anything like that. Like I no.
My favorite
Yeah.
my
And
favorite
also,
thing so
there's
far.
sorry.
Go ahead. No, Nick, go ahead.
There is no that's from the fans' perspective. From the coach's perspective, there is no self-respecting head coach that thinks he is going to do the same thing that James Franklin. Every head coach thinks he's going to come here and win. Every single one of them. Every name that they're going to get thinks they're going to come here and win. No coach is going to be afraid because he got fired after 2 losses, because none of those coaches think that they can lose 2 games. They all think they're going to win every game because that's how they're built. These guys work 16-hour days. They don't see their family for half the year. All they know is football. They think they're going to win every time they step on the field. They're not worried about what happened to James.
Yeah. And honestly, to your point there. Sorry, TK. I know you wanted to go.
Okay.
But to your point there, Nick, I think that's also what was James's shortcoming ultimately. Because, I mean, there's been rumors coming out from the summer about how tense the locker room was and how tight the practices were and how just tense everything was. And it almost seems like, and I mean, there's stories coming out about James going over Pat Kraft's head before the season and trying to get an extension. Like, I don't know, man. Like, some of the signs just point to him not being confident in winning this year. When you had the staff that you've been asking for years, you had the alignment you've been asking for forever. Like, this was supposed to be the year, and you're going before the season and asking for a contract extension when this is supposed to be your national championship season. Like, that doesn't scream confidence to me. We need a coach that comes in here with confidence, dick swinging, nuts on the table, yelling at your team at halftime. I'm not saying Matt Rule is my number 1 option, but I like that fire. His team was winning 33-0 at halftime, and he's ripping into them like they're losing. That is what Penn State has been. That's what we've been asking for as fans. I know I have. I know TK has. I'm sure Nick has. Like, and I know Alex has. So I don't know.
Well, I think it's interesting on the coaches part of it, and I agree with Nick 100%. Like, when you talk to these other coaches, they're not thinking, oh man, like, I'd have to do a lot at Penn State. You really don't. Like, and the funniest thing so far, 3 coaches, 3 completely different tiers, in my opinion, of coaches, and probably interest in the job and are interested in them. I know they've already come out with some on the boards of like tier 1, tier 2. So like Fran Brown, Drinkowitz, and Matt Rule. 3 in different interviews today that happened. And they asked them about the Penn State job.
Oh, like press conferences. Yeah.
All of them have a lot to say. They say a whole lot of things. Nobody says no.
Right.
Nobody. And they're not going to. And half of that is going to be they can work it to get extensions or raises, which will happen, and 100% teams will use it for that. But it's also because they don't know what's going to happen in their season. It's only week 8. They don't know.
Right.
They don't know. Like, Drinkowitz could lose 4 straight games, and then he's like, hey, man, State College? Maybe I do want that. Sig, it could explode in his face. I don't think it will. I think he's probably the long shot because of the success he's having. But like, people like who else can you talk to? Like, if you're interested in Freeman, right? Home run hire. Obviously, home run, very unlikely. If you're interested in Lane Kiffin, could be a home run, very unlikely. They're not
home run for me.
They're not saying yes or no right now, dude. They're still in the hunt for the playoffs.
Right.
Like, they don't care. But that goes into the search. Like, on the thing, it says some of them are trying out. They're being evaluated throughout the year to see if it's someone they would want. Now, that tells me someone like a Matt Rule is being evaluated because his team's 5-1? You don't know how they're going to finish the season?
They'll be at Beaver Stadium later this year.
Yep.
Half these teams, their coaches, they're interested in. First off, Urban Meyer, who's apparently been chatter for weeks with Penn State. He's going to be at Penn State probably for Big Noon eventually when Indiana comes to town. Sig will be there when we play Indiana. Rule will be there when we play Nebraska. But the reality is, if you're not on the team right now, if you're not on the staff right now, but you're a Pat Kraft, your whole job through this whole next 6 games of the season, whatever happens on the field is extra. Like, he can do whatever he wants. He can call whoever he wants. It could be tomorrow at lunch. He could call fucking Urban Meyer. He can call Freeman. He can call their agents. He can say, hey, what do you think? Hey, just, give me your thoughts. Like, would you be open to talking later on this year? Because nothing's going to happen right now. Like, nothing. Like, so Penn State fans can buckle in because it's going to be a month, 2 months before you really have more. Now, in 2 weeks, you'll probably have a more distinguished list because the earlier the better with the portal and classes and things like that. I get that.
Yeah.
But the reality is, if it's a big name person, if it is someone like a Freeman or a Meyer or a Kiffin, as soon as that's announced, all those kids at those schools, they're coming to Penn State. Like, they're coming with him. Like, the recruits people cried about, Adams, O'Brien, they're coming to Penn State.
Yep.
This whole, like, the university
if
thing,
they get Freeman.
like Drinks, if Drinkowitz came to Penn State,
Bo's coming back.
Bo Cuvier is coming back to Penn State. That's how it happens. Like, that's the reality. Like, the recruiting and the crying about losing recruits and that's the reality.
And that's why I think it's probably going to be, I don't want to say fully done early December, but you're probably going to have a really good idea of who it is early December.
Also,
and might even be done because, I mean,
like
you said, because
not a huge
you
fan.
got to get used to the portal. So I think that does eliminate Signetti. And like you said, really anybody else that's going to be in tough play. I think Indiana's going to be there.
Like, not a huge fan.
I think they're going to be there.
But if Matt Rule comes to Penn State, dude, Raiola is probably your quarterback next year.
Mahomes Jr.
It's the reality. It's not going to be Grunkmeyer. Grunkmeyer's not going to be the quarterback at Penn State next year.
Zero chance.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, you guys, like, Penn State fans, I mean, you're getting, like, just drilled over comments on Franklin, which is whatever. You can say whatever about that. Move on from that because it's over. Like, that thing's over. Like, that whole process is over. All of it. If you take a quarter, you're obviously going to hire a new head coach. The head coach coming in is going to want more options than just Grunkmeyer.
Yeah, Grunkmeyer and Smolka aren't going to cut it.
Like, I'm sorry.
No.
Like, there's going to be a lot of kids that
it's going to be Beckham Kritza.
Like, it's going to be, there's so much happens when a new head coach comes in, whether it comes from recruits or game plan or offense. If you bring in an offensive-minded coach, how much of this offense will even be on the team next year?
I feel like it should be in a position where, like, these last, 6 weeks, the last 6 games, you shouldn't be starting any upperclassmen. Like, you really shouldn't.
Bro,
you should be starting all young.
Bro, AK, I'm sorry, I know.
Right. Some of the guys
press
going to the NFL, but
getting fired. Bro, AK's getting fired.
Oh, yeah, AK's gone. AK's gone.
He's getting fired. So Kobe Howard needs to play. Denmark needs to play. Like, all these kids, Reynolds needs to play. All these kids need to play.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like Quentin Martin, he needs to play.
Yeah, bro. Like, where the fuck has Quentin Martin been?
Like, I saw fucking Anthony Ivy. Go play. Go do something. Because all it is now for all these kids, offense, defense, special teams, etc., coaches,
tryout.
All you're doing is trying out for the next head coach. That's all you're doing right now.
Yep.
That you don't even know who it is.
Trying out or, unfortunately, putting film together for the portal.
Can we do a little, maybe everyone gives their top 3 candidates, maybe?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Want me to start off?
Yeah.
All right. We've talked about Urban. Here's my thing with Urban. Urban's on my top 3 with a major asterisk in that I would want Brian Hartline to come with him and be the coach in waiting. I would want Brian Hartline to come. And do I think he would? Maybe not. But, dude,
God.
I would take...
To coach what? To coach what?
Whatever. Have him be special assistant. I don't give a fuck.
No. To coach what?
To coach whatever. I would take him as the head coach without Urban Meyer. Brian Hartline is the best recruiter in the country.
What do you mean you would take him as a head coach?
I would take Brian. You would not take Brian Hartline.
No, fuck no.
That's crazy.
Does he even call the bro? Does he? I'm not convinced he even calls the plays for Ohio State's offense.
Names?
Like, I'm convinced he is a wide receivers coach.
If you really want to get Urban's not going to be here for more than 5 years. He needs to have someone. There needs to be some succession plan. And if you think they're not going to build that out, they're going to build out a succession plan.
Hartline would be a guy that would fuck us over for Ohio State.
He might. If Ryan Day ever left Ohio State, that's the thing with
Hartline. Sure. And that's the thing with Freeman too. Like
Yeah,
as soon as Ohio
Freeman's
State
gonna
opens
happen.
up, he's
So
gonna
he's not on
fuck
my
us
top three
over.
because I don't think Freeman's gonna happen. I don't see that's gonna. I don't think Signetti's gonna happen. He's not on my top three. I don't think Freeman's gonna happen.
All right, so we got Meyer.
We
Myers-
got
That's
Meyer
one. That's my fault. I interrupted.
asterisk
You got one
with Brian Hartline.
Second one, this also might be controversial. I'm not sure. I'll take Alex Golish from South Florida.
Oh,
I think Golish would be a see TK.
you don't like
you're
that,
thinking,
TK?
like, too sexy. I'm trying to like think a little more realistic. Like you're not getting Signetti, you're not getting Freeman, dude. Like
That's
these aren't
such a
these aren't
risk. That is such a risk.
firing your coach in week 6 who has the second most wins of all time is a huge risk in general.
I cannot justify paying a buyout of $50 million and bringing in Alex Golish from USF to coach Penn
Can
State.
you justify bringing in Matt Rule, who has never won jack shit?
You can.
Yes.
How? Because
All
he
right.
Joe Bob?
Real
Just
quick.
finish your list.
Real quick.
Finish your fucking list.
All right. Yeah, I'll get the rule then. He's not on my top
Rule's
three.
not on my list. If you fire your coach for Matt Rule, that's crazy. I mean,
Give me your fucking dream list.
Third one is, I think, the most obvious candidate of all time. Not sure why he's not getting more talked about. Matt Campbell, Iowa State. Could not be.
I hate this list so
Bro,
much.
this is a dog shit list.
Are you kidding, bro? He literally rebuilt
so
Iowa
far
State.
away from the search committee.
Dude,
That is
Iowa
so fucking bad.
Dude, they're not getting. Dude, all these people you're talking about, they're not getting. They're not getting Signetti. They're not getting Marcus Freeman. That's not happening. That's not happening.
Bro,
We
Matt
don't leave
Campbell
Gunner-
he should have left years ago. He missed the window.
He was in the Big 12 championship game last year.
What's
Lost
the Big
what
12?
window?
My fucking high school varsity team could be in the Big 12 championship game.
You want Matt? Like, who do you want over these people? Who do you want over these people? Signetti's not coming here. He hates Penn State. He is like a
He's not in my
Pittsburgh
top
guy.
Signetti's not on my list. Signetti's not on my list.
They're not getting Freeman. They're not getting
Nope,
Freeman. They're
he's
not
not on my
getting
list
Lane.
either.
You don't know that.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
They're not getting these people. They're
You
not
don't know
getting
that, bro. Is Freeman
I
even
don't know that, but it's not happening. If we're just being
Yeah, he
realistic,
just switched. Yeah, he did. He's got 6 kids too. I mean, yeah, he fits the bill.
All right, man. So you got Meyer with an asterisk.
Meyer with an asterisk because it's a 5-year. He's not staying here for more than 5 years.
Meyer
No
with
chance.
an asterisk and Hartline as your duo.
I'm writing
Best
this
recruiter in
down,
the
bro.
country,
This is
yes,
gonna
we'll
be
take
a
him.
graphic. This is hilarious. I love it.
This is not that crazy. Golish and
Golish?
Campbell are like well-known names.
Golish
No, I'm
from the
not.
Fighting USF Palms.
Dude,
And Matt
Golish is a
Campbell.
legit coach. Matt Campbell, yes, someone. Iowa State has historically been dog shit at football, and he
Right.
completely turned around the program.
Yeah, I will give you that. Iowa State historically bad. He is consistently good with them. He actually if we really want to talk about it, they have some pretty solid quarterbacks. Like he's had some pretty solid
Brock
quarterbacks.
Purdy, he's like one
Brock
of the
Purdy,
15 quarterbacks in
Rocco
the
Beck
NFL
right now is we're not talking about superstars in college, but guys that get the
Better
job
than-
done are winners.
Better than what we've had the last 10 years. Besides,
And
years.
Matt Campbell was a hot name when Ohio State was open before they got Day. But
How long ago was that?
yeah, before he went to his last Big 12 championship game last year.
Bro, he fucking sucks.
He does not. How does he fucking suck? How does he fucking suck?
For how many fucking conference championships would James Franklin have in the Big 12?
He doesn't win any big games. He would have never won it with Oklahoma and Texas.
Matt Campbell.
Matt Rule doesn't either. None of these people win big games. That's kind of the.
Well, here's the
He's at Nebraska now.
All right.
Like, he's in the Big Ten.
bro.
He lost to
Nebraska
Michigan.
was
He got
dog.
destroyed by
Nebraska-
an 8-4 Michigan team.
Nebraska was dog shit when he took them over, bro. Like
Okay.
dog shit.
Oh, hold up. Actually, thank you for reminding me of that. Do you know who the head coach was at Nebraska when they were dog shit?
Scott Frost.
Frost.
The Golden Boy, because he was from there and he played there and he's from Nebraska. He played Nebraska. Same with Matt Rule. Played here. Oh, you gotta
Yeah,
hire him. Played here.
I get the whole like comparison with Nebraska and everything, but like Penn State is not like Penn State's region for recruiting. We actually have a hotbed of talent. Like I can't say the same for Nebraska, and I'm not we're not Nebraska fans. I don't know where they recruit and all that stuff, but like Nebraska, the center of the country itself, they're not known for talent like that. So I mean, it's like while we're not proof from being Nebraska, like I fail to see like us going into a drought the same way. Like
I don't think we'd go into a drought, but I don't think you're going to see anything different if Matt Rule's the head coach here. I think it's going to be the same thing. And you just paid $50 million for it not to be the same thing.
Are these the top 3 we want?
These are the
Or
top 3 that I think are realistic hires. Realistic.
But what does realistic mean to you?
Poaching a coach from Notre Dame is not realistic, in my opinion. Poaching a coach from Ole Miss is not realistic. Poaching an offensive coordinator from the Buffalo Bills, even though he's the gambling favorite right now, probably not going to happen. Probably shouldn't happen, honestly.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give my 3.
I agree with you there. All right, go ahead, TK.
I don't know what the fuck Matt Campbell is doing on a list. That fucks me off in the worst way.
Insane.
Number 1 is obvious. Urban Meyer, for sure.
Okay. We agree, see?
He's sick. He's a horrible person, but I think we need that. I think he's an individual that in the locker room is about winning and not about the family stuff and not about all things not related to winning. I think Urban Meyer would win at Penn State. I like Drankowitz, number 2. I want offense, bro. I want offense. Defense will always be available in State College. Always. Always. Okay? Number 3. I'm going to give you 4 because number 3 is kind of iffy, to be honest, because he's West Coast. But I really like Dillingham at Arizona State. I like Dillingham at Arizona State. You can say it's not happening, but the only reason it wouldn't happen is because he's West Coast.
No, the only reason it wouldn't happen is because he went to Arizona State. He's from Phoenix. That's like his dream job. He's not leaving.
Fuck about Phoenix.
Yeah,
no, I don't care about that.
I'm telling you, there's one coach that I don't think would leave. He's one.
Whatever. Dillingham 3. Number 4 is the fucking SIG. The SIG. He's going to take the call. He's a Pennsylvania guy, whether he hates us or not. It's fucking Penn State, bro. If you're from Pennsylvania, unless you are a cocksucker from Pitt, it's Penn State, dude.
Yeah, but Mark Cuban can match that money.
What?
Mark Cuban, Indiana, they can match that money right away. They're going to match it.
Who cares? It's Indiana.
They're in the Big Ten.
This whole facade that he has going at Indiana, that it's, Indiana football's back. Indiana football's never won anything.
No, they're dog shit.
They're forever.
Yeah, they're not going to be anything once he leaves, but while he's there, he can.
Is it more sustainable for him to keep doing that at Indiana or Penn State?
It would be more sustainable at Penn State, but he's 63 years old. Does he want to go to a new program?
We watched the head coach shit himself on the sideline. I don't care. I don't care how fucking old he is.
No, I don't care. I'm not saying I care how old he is. I would take him to heartbeat. I'm saying, would he want to do that when he's already getting paid?
If Marcus Freeman picks up the phone, I'm interested. I mean, I'm doing whatever. I mean, I don't care if I have to sell a ball to get him. I'm doing it.
Yeah, we were talking in the group chat today.
This guy,
there's quite a few things on the line if we get Marcus Freeman here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people like my whole thing, and y'all know it because we talk about it. I want a head coach with some nuts, dude. Like some fucking balls. Another name, and I'm kind of going off the crazy here. I'm only supposed to give 3. What would you say? Don't shoot me here.
Oh God!
Don't fucking shoot me. What if Cliff Kingsbury's interested?
Get the fuck out of here, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. No. The other guy I mentioned in the NFL, I would take him over Cliff Kingsbury.
That interests me.
Why would I take Joe Brady over Cliff?
I mean, Joe Brady was he was like the guy that built Joe Burrow into a national champion Heisman Trophy winner. And then he went and he helped Josh Allen win an MVP. So I would take him over the guy that could barely get bowl eligible with Patrick Mahomes. That's just in the Big 12.
Do not ever, ever say that he built Josh Allen into an MVP.
He won an MVP when he went to Buffalo, won an MVP.
And then you said, what about Joe Burrow?
Well, I mean, Joe Burrow was a nobody before he went to LSU. Was a nobody. Couldn't even get on.
He was a nobody his first year at LSU.
Exactly.
So
Joe Brady comes there. Boom.
So we can go back here. Hartline is a head coach. You're open to it.
I don't know how you wouldn't be open to it. He's the best recruiter in the country.
Bro, he has nothing.
He has nothing besides literally poaching all of Pennsylvania. Marvin Harrison Jr., Kyle McCord, all those guys would have been Nittany Lions if it were not for Brian Hartline.
No, stop. You're fucking crashing out. You're pissing yourself, shitting, throwing up.
The
There's
best
no way.
recruiter in the country. It's not even close.
I don't care if Marvin Harrison Jr. Or Jeremiah Smith, any of them. There's no world where, or Marvin Harrison Jr. and who's the other one? Even what's a buddy from Alabama, Scott.
Rico Scott.
None of them are coming to Penn State because
Maybe. If Urban Meyer's the coach and Brian Hartline's the successor, yeah, they will. Yeah, they will. Urban Meyer, one of the all-time greatest coaches. You're telling me they won't get 5-star talent? What's the point of even hiring these big names if you can't get 5-star talent in your own state?
So what about Drink? You don't think he's fits the bill or no?
No, I don't want.
All
don't want
right. What? He's my number one. Drink is my number one.
No.
What do you mean,
bro? He's got Missouri humming.
Humming in what regards? Like
in Missouri regards.
In Missouri regards, exactly. Like they're not actually national championship like caliber.
I mean, they're the best. I mean, I
winning 10 games in the SEC. We sucked Franklin off for doing that in the Big Ten for beating Rutgers.
Okay,
right, like
he's got like I'm just not like Drinkwitz is not at the top of my list.
I'll tell you,
he's top of the list. You want
to talk about lists? Throw it all out the fucking window. I'll give you the goddamn list. All right, it's Urban fucking Meyer. It's Marcus fucking Freeman.
All right,
it's Lane fucking Kiffin. It's Kurt Signetti. It's all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, you guys know the game.
Right. If we get any of those, I'm donating.
You know, it is.
I texted this to my buddy earlier.
This is actually funny though, because I mentioned his name a couple of times. You guys do know who the gambling favorite in Vegas right now is to be the next head coach.
Yes, it's Joe Brady.
Joe Brady, yeah.
That doesn't matter, bro.
Hey, I made the joke last night.
They make bets all the time. They lose all the time. It doesn't matter if it's the favorite.
We're recording this on a Tuesday. I made the joke last night in one of my chats or to one of my friends that Joe Brady was distracted because the Bills sucked last night. They lost. He was distracted because he was on the phone with Pat Kraft all day.
Well, he might be on the phone with his current boss, Terry Pagula, who will also be the one that writes in the paycheck for that job.
Yeah.
I swear to God, if Terry Pagula told him to hire Joe Brady, I'll fucking lose it.
I would not be surprised if that is why he's gambling. I would not be surprised if that's
that would be some real. Hey, I will buy out James Franklin, but
taking Matt Rule over Brady, by the way.
I actually probably agree with you on that one.
I would.
And Campbell.
All right, so
I would not take
it. And Golish.
I would not take it.
Well, Golish, yeah.
I'm
not gonna lie, I overreact. I actually really like Golish, but I wouldn't want Penn State to be his first big, just because of the climate of the hire.
Yeah,
but I think he could get offense humming in State College as well.
So I mentioned I like Drinkwitz as my number one. I really like what he's done at Missouri, man. I think he'd be a good fit at Penn State. I really like what he's done. I think he'd do great things with Penn State's resources. Everybody wants to shit on. I got into this earlier. Everybody wants to talk shit about Penn State's resources. We've got great resources. Drinkwitz would do very well, I think. Nick, you said it's unreasonable, unattainable, but I'm telling you, if the interest is real, man, I'd be all over the room. Give me Lane Kiffin. Oh man, I would love Lane Kiffin. It'd just be everywhere. It'd be everywhere. The walls are already white. They'd be even more white. I'd also like Dillingham. I do really like Dillingham. I like the energy that he brings to his program. I like Will Stein still. I have not talked myself out of Will Stein. I'm not afraid of going with the hot coordinator, being a first-time head coach. I think Landon Tangwall, shout out him. He made a graphic of coaches in the playoff last year who were first-time hires, first-time head coaches. When they were hired at their program, it was like 9 of the 12. I'm not afraid of going that route. Again, going to Penn State's resources, the right hire will get the job done. So you never know. Will Stein might be that guy. I like what he does at Oregon. They came in here and played poise with a quarterback who is basically a freshman and a true freshman wide receiver as his number one. So, and their true freshman running back was really the one that kind of killed us that game as well. So, yeah, I like Will Stein.
Who, I think, we named a lot of coaches. Who would you not want is a better question.
Yeah, I mean,
Obviously,
here's
don't say
the
fucking like Mike Loxley or something. Like, I mean, like people of substance.
So here's the issue with that question, TK. We gave James Franklin excuses for so long and talked ourselves into James Franklin being a great coach, a borderline elite coach for so long that at this point I feel like we'd talk ourselves into anybody coming in here and being good. So I can't tell you off the top of my head who I would say absolutely no if they were to get hired.
Mine would be
like all the guys that you named, like even the ones that we laughed at, I'd be like, yeah, I could talk myself into it.
Mine would be, unfortunately, anyone on the staff currently,
including
Terry.
It's fair.
I love Terry, bro, but like I think Terry's.
I
just
it would be
even
underwhelming.
If he went 6-0, I would still feel the same way. Like I
agree.
Yeah.
Though like I said earlier, I do think if he goes 5-1 or 6-0, it's going to be almost impossible for them not to hire him, because you're going to get into a situation where you're going to have everyone say, and that's kind of my problem.
It would be another Larry Johnson situation.
It would be like, you guys remember Antonio Pierce with the Raiders a couple years ago? Where they had that run at the end of the year?
Yep.
It was just like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good point. I think, obviously, very rare that happens, but
I don't think it's going to happen for what it's worth. But
I could see a world in Penn State fashion where, and I hate to say this because I don't think it's going to happen, but I could see it because of the way things happen to us as a fan base. I could see Terry Smith beating Indiana.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah. And us being like,
oh, I just thought of a name. I would absolutely, in no world, I would throw a fucking riot. I would want Penn State fans to throw a full-on Tennessee Shiano overthrow. Do not bring me Brian Kelly. I swear to God.
Oh, yes.
Do not bring me Brian Kelly.
That is literally just SEC James Franklin.
No, TK, no.
You're out of your mind, dude.
No, bro.
Out of your mind.
That one Alabama win does not convince me.
No, man, I'm not on the BK train either.
Fuck that.
I did see Shiano reached out. What a waste of self-service that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking coming here, buddy. Yeah, no.
That's another one. I like the energy he brings, but no.
Another name that's being thrown around that I don't like, only really from only because of the history. I don't think that from like a PR standpoint they can hire Clark Lee, just because that's another Vanderbilt head coach.
That'd be a really tough sell.
I've seen that name thrown around. I don't think they can do that.
I don't even think they'd be able to convince themselves of doing it.
Yeah, just because I just don't think you could do another Vanderbilt.
I think Kraft is going to have a hard time convincing himself to pull the trigger on anyone who isn't a home run hire, because this is his job too. Look,
other than Matt Rule,
this decision of his life.
This is his balls on the line. This is his legacy on the line. If he folds it, he's fucked.
Like, I will say on the Matt Rule front, I don't think he's going to be the next guy, because we know, like, it's well known how close him and Pat Kraft are. And, you don't want to bring your best friends into business like that. And he's in a perfect scenario right now to have his best friend drive up the bag that he's going to get at Nebraska and be well set for the rest of his life.
You know what I promise you it won't be? It will not be, because I keep hearing this name. I promise you, I would put any amount of money on it. It will not be Manny Diaz. He flaked on Pat Kraft when he was at Temple. Manny Diaz was hired to be the coach, and he left, 24 hours later? There's no way Manny Diaz is hired as that coach.
I would not be upset at that, though.
I wouldn't be upset with it. I actually like Manny a lot as a coach, but I promise you it won't
happen. Wasn't that when Matt Rule got the job then? Went from Manny to...
No, this was after that. Manny was after. It was like after Matt Rule. It was when Matt Rule went to Baylor.
All right. But yeah, I mean, going back to Matt Rule, like there's been so many people in the Penn State fan base that are like hard no, and calling him Franklin 2.0, And I actually did come to the realization today it does kind of make sense because the 3 programs he's been at have been rebuild situations, and I mean this year has yet to be seen, but he's done a good job at all 3 of doing that. So I do get the scare from that scenario, but everybody talks about his top 25 record and just his overall record in general. I mean, just take a few minutes, do it yourself, look up the scenarios he walked into as a head coach. What would you expect his record versus top 25 teams to be in those scenarios? Genuinely. Like what would you expect his record to be against top 25 teams?
I think
And
that's a fair.
half of his losses have come in the first year of his tenure. And he walked into Baylor after Art Briles. He walked into Temple's Temple. And then Nebraska, I said earlier that was a program left for dead by Scott Frost. I mean, that program is walking dead. So
I, I
I
think
could
that's a
talk
fair
myself
argument.
into it.
I think it's a fair argument. And I know I got some ribbings for the other names I threw out there, but I really think because of the timing of this hiring, like I feel like Urban Meyer just makes way too much sense. Like I feel like these other guys, like you could have fired James at the end of the year. Because the thing with James is like he is like one of the, he has a footprint in that building, in that culture. Where to fire him midseason it's a little crazy, to be fair. It's a little crazy unless
It
you have
is.
something lined up. Like let's say maybe Urban's already building something there, and it's like kind of like behind closed doors right now. That like because I just don't
It's a
understand
rumor.
why else would you fire your coach in week 6? Like, it just doesn't make much sense to fire a guy like that. And it's not like this is like year 3. All right, he's been here for 13 years. He's the second winningest coach in program history. Like, he's not some pushover. Like, you don't
Right.
just fire him midseason. Like, there has to be a reason for that. There has to be a name. Like, that's why I just don't see it being Matt Rule. Because, like I said, you could get him at any time of the year.
Yeah. No,
I mean, that's one of
that's a
that's
very
one of the
good point
rumors.
when it comes to Rule, for sure.
One of the rumors is that he is doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that
Yeah.
rumor.
Yeah, it's
Fine.
definitely a
I
rumor.
mean, it'll be
Been going
sticker
on for a
shock for
couple
a lot of
weeks.
Penn State fans. I mean, I don't like Urban Meyer right now, but Urban Meyer wasn't my coach. Like, there's plenty of situations. It could be the same situation of when you're growing up and you got this dickhead teammate, but you love him because he's on your team, but everybody else thinks he's a dickhead. I mean, if he wins, he wins, and
He's Cam Scatterbo.
that is the biggest thing. Like, I think Penn State fans is such fan base and so rich in like history and doing it the right way, the Penn State way, as they say, and stuff like that. But it's about winning. Like, it's about winning. It should always be about winning. It should always be about giving yourself the best chance possible to be better than you were the year before. It's not, how can we replicate the success from last year when you made it to the semifinal? It should have been, how do we push past where we were last year weekly? And we didn't do that. We lost. I honestly think he lost himself the job because I think the thing that he was so stuck on his entire tenure was the 1-0 mantra, 1-0, 1-0. I think James lost that this year. I think he wasn't focused on 1-0. I think he was focused on Oregon,
And goal.
Indiana, Ohio State. That's what I think he was focused on, because everything else, it's mind blowing that he loses that game just because of his history of in those games, losing his 20-point favorites to Northwestern and UCLA. That's so unlike him. He was 0-6 against the spread, usually one of the best coaches against the spread. Every single statistic shows you that he was not himself this year. Most undisciplined team of recent years for Penn State in flags. Everything is there. So something did happen. Obviously, there was the altercation in the offseason. That might have been it. Maybe that made him nervous. Maybe that made the pressure more for him. But at the end of the day, everything was there.
Yeah.
Everything's there to tell you that something was not right. Everything. All the way down to the fucking spread number. Like, everything.
Yeah. Something was definitely wrong. And like I said earlier, I think it came down to the Oregon game. I do want to say, like, I've seen this thing out there. They're like, oh, well, he only got fired because he lost these 2 games, and he has this like history of always beating the teams he's supposed to beat. He always beats the teams he's covering against. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. There's so many times he lost games that he wasn't supposed to lose. So this whole narrative that he always won the games that he was supposed to win, I don't buy that. I don't buy that, and I don't buy that they only fired him because of that.
Yeah, that narrative goes back to 3 years, the past 3 years.
Yeah,
Like,
so
that's it.
It's like before that, he consistently lost to teams he wasn't supposed to lose to. So I really think it was the Oregon game. I think that was and I think he knew that. I think he saw the writing on the wall and I don't mean to bring anything like this into that. I don't mean it like that. But you started to see his family on the field after the games because I think they saw the writing on the wall. I really think they did. And again, I don't mean to make it personal. I'm just like stating something that I noticed. I always saw him and his daughter would always walk with him after the games, which I hadn't really seen as much in the past. I think they knew that this was the end of an year, whether they wanted to admit
Yeah.
it in public or not. I think behind closed doors, after the Oregon game,
Well, yeah,
I mean,
yeah, for sure. Because the beat writers and everybody said in the press conference after the Northwestern game said he typically has like his girls and his wife there, or whoever, but the group that was there for him was much larger after the
yeah,
Northwestern game. So I mean, they
yep.
knew that it was happening. Like the writing was on the wall, man. It was time. Like I
well,
said at the
and
beginning.
at the end of the game, I mean, players were basically lining up in a single file line to shake his hand. Like,
Yeah, they knew.
Yeah.
They knew.
so you can I can appreciate the support from the players on like the timeline and stuff, and the heart emojis and the Instagram posts and all that. But it just begs the question because everybody in their own way hates accountability in their own way, whether it's James, the players, every person, human, myself, you too. Everybody hates it in their own way. Um, but the real accountability piece of it here is, was it the plan or was it the execution? Because Dawkins, I believe today said it best was, we have, this feeling that, we kind of got him fired with our performance on the field.
Yeah,
And
Dawkins
truthfully,
should be saying
you did. So like it
Yeah, I mean
can't be, oh
it
fuck,
goes
it can't
both
be, oh fuck
ways.
Pat Kraft. It can't be, oh
that.
fuck the fans. It's, bro, like
Yeah, we
you
didn't
like
fire him.
oh I didn't fire him. Like
And that
I
sucks for
didn't
these
pay
guys.
50 million.
Yeah, and that sucks for these guys because they all came here for him. They all
Mhm.
came here for him. Is there a guy like Dom DeLuca who's from northeastern Pennsylvania who if TK was the head coach and AP was the defensive coordinator he would have went there anyway? Right? Yeah, there's a couple guys like that on the
Right.
roster who are just like Pennsylvania guys. 99% of the people in that locker room went there because he was the head coach and they liked him as the head coach. So it's tough for these guys. It is, and it sucks. They probably take that personal that he's the reason they're fired. And a guy like Drew Aller who now just lost his head coach, his college career, and everything in the span of 24 hours after he could have left
Feel so
last year
bad
and
for
been a
that kid,
first round
man.
draft pick. And I mean, like it's tough for these guys. And maybe hopefully they kind of rally around Terry and they rally around that concept and they go out and they go into Iowa and they win in a ball game this weekend for the first time in almost a month. But it's tough for all those guys in there, and you just hope that they can rally around it and kind of try to salvage this season, go to the fucking quick lane bowl or something.
Well,
We all got to rally around him.
I can honestly say, and obviously I'm a diehard Penn State fan. I watch every game, go to games, season tickets, whatever. I won't be, these next 6 games. Obviously, it sucks, when you don't win, but I won't crush them on here. I'm not going to get on here and crush them or do this. I think everyone should be well aware that Ethan Grunkmeyer's first start and his next 2 games after that are all against top 10 defensives. 2 of them are on the road against very good defenses. It is what it is
Not
now.
going to be pretty.
Everybody listening or on Twitter who gets in the mentions, so like it is what it is now, man. Like we're 3-3. There's a realistic path where Penn State goes 3-9. There's also a realistic path for them to go 6-6, or maybe 7-5. So be with the team, support the team, be behind them. I think Nick said it earlier. Like I'm going to be watching like more in depth than ever on who's playing, who's not playing,
Yeah. Oh,
who can get
absolutely.
reps to get better, who's trying out for next year. Can we keep Kobe Howard next year if he's good, or Denmark? Like that's the fun part of the rest of the season because the expectations we had, those are gone. Like
It's going to be interesting to see the effort too, because Terry had mentioned in his press conference, the team needs to get back to playing loose, fun, gritty, all that stuff that we've been saying for the entire season that they haven't been doing. And, now that James Franklin is gone, it's going to be interesting to see if that life does come back to them a little bit. Obviously, they lost their quarterback. They're 3-3. The season's over, but you're still playing the game that you love, right? And you're getting paid to do it. So And like you said, a lot of this is a tryout basis, whether you're going to the league next year, going in the portal, or you're just staying at Penn State, regardless of who the coach is. Your clock is ticking. This is a tryout for you now. This is a tryout for the staff as well. None of these guys can say that they're for sure going to be here next year. Not even Terry Smith. And I'd love for some of these guys to say definitely Terry, but I mean that's the reality. You're in a tryout scenario, and hey, hungry dog.
Yeah. Did Drew break his ankle?
Hey, did I say he broke his ankle? I'm not sure if
No,
he
I'm
did.
asking. I think he did. I thought he did.
I have no idea. Yeah, I thought he did too.
Yeah, I'm
Of course, we never got that answer because James never gives that shit. But
yeah, I'm kind
I
of
don't think it was his knee.
no,
I'm kind of skeptical about the whole season-ending thing.
No, I think his agent told him to shut it down.
Yeah. No, that's what I think too.
Yeah, I think that's very, very, very possible.
Yeah,
I would too. Fuck it.
Yeah, no, I don't blame him. He's got millions of dollars on the line. I cannot blame him at all.
Yeah, what the hell? I mean, it would be a little risky, not risky though, but it is kind of iffy to do it because the tape you've put out for your senior year, your penultimate year, not very good.
Yeah, but that's not why he's getting
6'5",
drafted.
huge arm.
Yeah, he's getting drafted because of stuff that's out of his control. Because
he'll
he's
still get drafted in the 4th round.
And I mean, he did put stuff on film this year. Otherwise, that touchdown throw to Pena, and then the touchdown throw to Hudson against Nevada. Those are really the only two that I can think of right now. But
Nevada Reno, baby, let's go.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to talk about?
No, drop your if you listen to this, drop your top 3 in the comments.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna
Narduzzi, Penn State, let's go.
Jesus.
I've seen that joke way too many times today.
I wonder, how do you think, do you think Loxley, I saw Loxley's press conference.
Narduzzi and Loxley are probably throwing fucking parties in their locker room.
I don't know. I think it's
Loxley definitely.
and Franklin have a weird relationship though, bro.
Loxley might be different because I think, and I don't mean to bring this is like a little, maybe this is me reading too much into it. Maybe this is me reading too much into it, but I think Loxley respects Franklin a lot because Franklin is they're both African-American head coaches. There's not a lot of black head coaches, to be quite brutally honest. I think Loxley I think is jealous of Franklin to an extent for how successful he's been and how many recruits he's stolen from his area. But I think he also has a respect for him because, of what he's been able to achieve.
Yeah, for sure.
I could see James Franklin being the head coach at Maryland, by the way.
A lot of options. North Carolina, Arkansas, Kentucky, Florida.
He's definitely going to be fielding a lot of calls, man.
NC State would be
really good for him. I think UNC would be really good for him.
UNC would be great.
He's going to go somewhere, dude. That's the thing.
Well, it's part of his buyout is he has to look for another job, whether it be in TV or as a coach.
Yeah, but we'll see.
Really?
Yeah, because that's like a stipulation in his buyout.
We
he has
pay
to
the difference.
Actively try and go and get a job. Gotcha. Which, I mean, he should get hired.
Well, what happens if he doesn't try and get a job?
Probably legal ramifications. They probably won't pay the buyout. Something like that.
Well, there you go.
All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you so much for all of you listeners. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. It really, really helps us a lot. Make sure you have us liked on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to us. Once again, really appreciate you guys.